Welcome back to the channel. Now, there's probably some new people watching this video, or will get to this video at some point. Consider subscribing to the channel because I talk about topics that are very, very important for everybody on earth because of how many sick individuals are out there today. And it's bad, man. It's bad, and the last thing you want to do is get fooled by some mentally sick person who can put on a great act, a great performance, like everything is fine and dandy, and the next second you are paying the price of being sucked into their trap and them slowly but surely destroying you from the inside out. So we are going to talk about the biggest of all red flags in dating, which is borderline personality disorder. It is by far the biggest red flag in dating. Period. It is worse than a narcissist, although people with BPD definitely have narcissistic traits. It's just that this is even worse, bro. It's even worse. And the stuff that happens is unimaginable, which I'll talk about. But the worst mistake you can make is being with a person that has BPD, thinking that you can manage it with them. You think it can get better. You think that's manageable going forward. Like, you think that. And when you meet a person that you seemingly like a lot, but you don't know about their issues just yet and how serious it is, it's easier said than done to walk away from that situation with that person. I'm on the verge of sneezing right now, so that's why I'm making weird faces, kind of. There's a sneeze just waiting to happen, but yeah. But anyway, it's easier said than done to meet a person, to really get to know a person, to get to like a person, and then all of a sudden, things start to show up. Things you've never quite seen just yet. Behavior you've never quite seen just yet. And that, personally, for myself, is triggering. Because of things I've seen in the past, because of things I've been through. So let's say, for example, I'm talking to a female. Any inconsistency, weird, strange behavior is triggering, and it's been that way. Because throughout my whole life, I've seen the best of the best of the best behavior from women in the beginning stages, and we're talking a complete 180 upside down. So to see very rapid shifts in behavior, very unusual stuff, the whole vibe is off, everything is different, it's triggering. Because of what I've seen in my life. And if you guys are talking to anybody and you see these types of things happen, you might want to look into that. You might want to look in to what you're now experiencing with this person. I'm not saying run instantly. Someone can have a bad day. Something could be wrong. Something could be up. But you want to look in to what is going on. And rightfully so. Because you don't want to end up another victim of a woman or a man who has borderline personality disorder where they cannot control themselves. And I mean, they cannot control themselves. It's so crazy to experience it because you see it in front of your own two eyes how out of control they actually are. They turn into a literal demon, man. They turn into a literal demon. And it's just wild. It is wild to see that. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how well you handle a certain situation with one of these types of individuals, it does not do justice. It does not take them out of what they're experiencing. No matter how calm you are with them, no matter how understanding you are with them, no matter how patient you are with them, when they're freaking the fuck out, you can't get them back until they decide to be done. That's when the demon decides that their little freakouts and anger and rage bursts are done. They can't control what they're going through. They can't control that they feel that way. The littlest thing can trigger them too. That's the thing. Once they get to that point, it's over. You see the craziest stuff. It can last anywhere from hours up to half a day, up to a full day sometimes. And they don't come out of it until they come out of it. And like I said, there's nothing you can do on your end to get them back until they themselves are out of it. That's what you come to realize, having experienced it myself. That is what I've noticed. No matter what you do, you can't bring them back until they themselves are out of it. So, you guys have to ask yourselves, are you willing to be with a person who is sometimes normal, but other times you lose them? Do you want to deal with that mental bandwidth that's so draining and so toxic that basically you're with a person, right? But then out of nowhere, you lose that person. Even if they're still with you, you lose that person. And they're not there anymore. They're gone. You lose that person. You don't understand the type of mental fury that this puts you through on your end. Having to watch somebody you care about disappear, but yet they're still in your presence. It's insane. And you will never know what it's like until you experience something like that. It's not something you ever want to experience again. I'll just tell you that right now. And that is why BPD, borderline personality disorder, is the biggest red flag in dating. Period. These people do freaking horrible, man, in close interpersonal relationships, even friendships. A lot of these people don't have friends, period. And I'm not saying if you don't have friends in general that you're that, but these people specifically struggle with friends, with relationships, with family, with everything, bro. They struggle with everything, bro. Like, here's the difference. There's some people who like to be alone. Borderline, and this is how I'll explain it. Borderline personality disorder people don't like to be alone. But yet they struggle so bad in relationships. They have a disorder. I would bet money on it that the people they could have been without the disorder, they would have been very loving people, a great relationship partner, a great family member, a great friend. They could have had plenty of these things and kept them. Because of their disorder, they typically fail in these areas. They want friends. They want family close. They want a relationship partner, but it fails. Time and time and time and time again. That's why you will see them with somebody 1 month. Couple months goes by, they're with somebody else. Couple months goes by, they're with a new guy. Couple more months goes by, they're with a new guy. And at best, these people typically last about a year. At best. In relationships. And things just get so bad with them that things eventually come to an end. Because of how much abuse they put their partners through. And you are the one in the end who has to suffer a serious fate of what they've put you through. And they continuously get more used to being with someone and then understanding, yeah, they're probably not going to last. The discard is going to come. So they date people knowing it's not going to last because of who they are. But they don't want to be alone so bad that they date somebody else. And they know, bro. They know you would leave them, so they're going to leave you. And that's the way they're going to live their life. And they have no close friends. They use their friends. I have seen people like this talk bad about their so-called best friend. Discarded them. And then went back to them. Like nothing even happened. Like it was just another day, but yet they literally got rid of them, blocked them. See ya. Talk bad behind their back. And then refriended the same person. It's just insane. It's insane to see what these individuals are actually like. And it doesn't make sense. But if you understand the disorder, it makes sense then. I'm telling you guys now, there's no greater pain in a relationship than being with somebody who was a borderline. They will literally destroy you. Mentally, even physically sometimes. Things can get abusive. Things can get physically abusive. They have rage episodes and they can rarely control their anger. And this can happen at any time. You might mistake them for a bipolar person, but in actuality, it's a borderline. And something so very small and insignificant to the average everyday person would never react how a borderline would react over something so small. We're talking a very insignificant thing, guys. Like a toddler probably wouldn't even do anything. Like that's how bad they are. That is how bad they are. And that is why when you're with a person like that and you experience it, it's just like, it's shocking. But to understand the disorder, it's not so shocking when you understand the disorder for what it is and understand that these individuals are sick. They are mentally ill. It's an illness. Can you help it if you're sick? Not necessarily. You can do the proper things to get better, but a lot of these people, bro, oftentimes don't. Oftentimes, borderlines don't seek therapy, counseling, and do things that's going to help them and pull them out of what they're dealing with. And you can't get rid of borderline. They're not going to get rid of borderline, but they can do a lot of work so they can live a functioning, regular life to the best of their ability with the disorder they have. But even then, guys, with all this being said and what we understand so far about this, it is still the biggest red flag in dating. And I mean the biggest. The biggest red flag in dating. No matter who it is, I promise you guys now, no matter who it is not worth your life to try to make things work with a borderline. It is not worth it, guys. You will suffer a great amount. And if you put yourself through that, I only can feel bad for you because I know what that is. And it's nothing nice. They're going to destroy you. They're gonna try to destroy you. They're gonna try to break you down, and pretty much suck the life out of you. Slowly but surely. At first, they would never do that. They would never drain you. They would never take your energy. They would never be any way towards you. They would never disrespect you, and all this stuff. It's like a lovable person at first, and it's like all that. Okay. You don't even notice the switch up happening necessarily, guys. You don't necessarily notice the switch up happening. But out of nowhere, slowly and slowly and slowly, the switch up happens. So sly like a fox to the point you don't even notice them and you don't notice it coming up. And slowly they're taking over. Slowly they're taking your energy. They're sucking the life force out of you. They're having these crazy demands. They basically make you focus on them. And they position you in a way where it benefits them. And you start to forget things. You start to forget who you are. You start to forget the things that you love to do. You start to forget a lot of things because of how much they put the focus on themselves. So you focus so much on them and their needs, their wants, their desires. It all becomes about Them. And on top of all that, you're getting yelled at. They'll freak right out at you. They will sometimes physically abuse you. You try to do everything you can in your power to make them happy. It doesn't work. It's rage episode after rage episode after rage episode over absolutely nothing at all. Something so small, something so insignificant. And then there's you having to be there dealing with that shit. And now you're at the point where you've dealt with it so much, you finally something clicks and it's like, man, okay, where is the person that I met at first? Where's the person that I met at first? It doesn't exist. They pretended to be somebody that you would like, and they knew what they were doing. They wanted to use you for what they could use you for as long as they could possibly do it. And the second they come to the realization that you're not the one for them because they can't use you in a way that they would like, they will then discard you. And they'll try to find somebody else that they can use, that they can abuse, that they can manipulate, that they can destroy. And when they destroy the next person, and when this person doesn't meet their unrealistic standard of who they think that they should be, they discard them. No one's good enough. No one's good enough. No one's good enough. You just want to know the truth? They are not good enough. And deep inside of themselves, they can know it. If you're lucky the odd time, they will get vulnerable and they will admit that they're a messed up person. If you get lucky, they'll get vulnerable and they will admit their wrongdoings. They will admit that they are basically screw-ups. And that you're a good partner. If you're lucky. If you're not lucky, they will continuously manipulate you. They'll never admit to anything. They'll never admit to anything they did wrong. Because they'll just blame it on you. They'll blame it on you. They'll blame it on you. And they'll discard you without admitting one single time that they were wrong. Or they did things that were wrong. Or that they did things that were unacceptable. They won't. But if you're lucky, you'll at least hear them say that. And you will know how messed up they are. But here's the thing about them. They can revert back to that same evil person and act like they aren't someone who is like that anymore, and they're not bad. That's the kind of games that's being played. They'll revert back and forth to different people, and you don't even know who you're going to get. You don't know what person you're going to get. Now, guys, if all of what I've explained in this video is not a red flag, and the biggest red flag you could possibly think of, then I don't know what is. This is it. It's terrible. And it's a brutally painful experience that you got to get out of ASAP. You got to get out of that ASAP. And the longer you're in it, the worse it's going to be. The quicker you get out, the better it's going to be. The more you can see clearly. And yeah, man, this stuff is no joke. These people have a disorder, and as much as you want to see the good in them, because that's the thing, like they're not bad 24/7. You want to see the good in them. You want to make it work. You love that person that they are sometimes because they revert into a person you would never go around for a second of your life. That's the hard part about it. On one side, it's a person you actually love or have loved. The other person is someone you would never even speak to, you would never come close to. That's what you're up against. This is how crazy and serious this thing is. And it's why it's the biggest red flag ever in dating. It doesn't end well. I don't care how much you think you can help this person or you can make it work. or you can save them, don't do it to yourself, guys. Do not do it to yourself. Because the only thing you're going to do is do it to yourself if you do it, you know, and you're going to regret it. You're going to say, man, like, I should have left earlier. I should have left right at this time when these things started to happen, but I stayed. That's what you do not want to happen. Cut your losses now. Deal with the little bit of pain that's going to come with that. Because if you're already with a person like that, and you don't really want to end it, but you know what you should, it's going to hurt a little bit because you have some sort of attachment with the person, which is a trauma bond. Break it now before they break you completely. And that's all you guys have to know. This shit's serious. This shit is the biggest red flag of all time in dating. And I hope you guys understand this. I did all I could here in this video. So I hope this could help. And with that being said, I will see y'all in the next. Do not forget to come follow me on Instagram as well and subscribe to the channel. My Instagram username is the exact same here on YouTube. And with that being said, God willing, God bless. We'll see y'all at the top.